All right, hey, boys and girls, listeners of all ages, welcome to the Mitch and Mike voiceover podcast. And guess what? We have a fantastic guest with us today. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can already see we have the amazing Katie Leigh with us.
Woo, yay! Hi, thanks for having me. The amazing Mike and Mitch.
Yes. And now we can stop recording because you've called us amazing, and that's all.
That's it. That's all you wanted to hear.
That's it.
Bye.
All right, thanks.
Oh, amazing and handsome and generous and thoughtful and talented. Can I just throw that in?
You're going to make me redder than last week. Jeez.
I'm going to start crying.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Well, hey, thanks so much.
Goofballs of the airwaves. How are you?
Man.
Doing just fine. How are you, Katie? How have you been doing?
Well, I cut my finger.
Oh, no.
Yes, on the food processor.
Ow.
So
Whilst it was running.
Be careful. That's my PSA. Think before you go. Just slow down when you're using a sharp blade.
Are you a trained blade user? I feel like you've been
Clearly
trained for
not.
other things. Okay.
Clearly not. No, I don't think I've ever used that attachment, actually.
And probably never will again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
had
know
to
if you
throw it
can
away.
hear that ringing because I didn't silence my phone. Should I can go silent.
Is that your rotary phone?
We're all good.
No, but that's
Rotary phone.
that's the sound I have.
That sounds like an old rotary phone,
You know
doesn't
what?
it?
Speaking of sounds,
Yes.
because I think of a lot of things all the time, and this morning I was thinking, remember the sound of when someone didn't hang up the phone? I don't even know, Mitch, if you know this
I
sound.
hate it so much.
And
I've
it would
had
just
nightmares of it.
Like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dead.
When the phone would like get knocked off of the
and it would make that noise.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that popped in
it would
my
do
head.
that, but then it would go and then it would go
That one. I've had nightmares of that sound.
I want to
terrifying.
find it. It was like, wow.
I want to
that
find.
nobody will know, in the future.
I'd love to find that guy who did the thing when you called the wrong number. The area code you have dialed is new. He was like this close to the microphone. You remember that guy?
Yeah, and that started out with doo-doo-doo.
Yes. Man, what a
Number you
weird
have
way to
dialed.
start a podcast, you guys.
Yeah. Let's think of all kinds of old sounds.
I actually have a cassette. It made me want to go find it because a friend of mine, a guy who I worked with when you said you want to know how I started out.
Please.
Someone asked me that. This is like podcast week for me. I don't know why.
Hey.
So I've been doing a few interviews, and it reminded me that I didn't really necessarily start out in animation, but sort of. But a lot of my stuff was commercials. And I used to work for Chuck Bloor and Don Richmond, and they made a cassette once of sounds, like analog sounds that people don't hear anymore, like nostalgic sounds. So now I want to go find it. I think I have a copy somewhere.
That's pretty
Like
wild.
a rotary phone or a typewriter and stuff like that.
Okay. And you have this on tape somewhere?
I think I gotta go look. This is all new. This just happened in my brain in the last 24 hours.
It just came back to you.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I know you as an animation person. You've been teaching me animation for maybe over a year on and off, which has been glorious. Why I
God
wanted to
bless
meet you all along.
I sometimes tend to yell at people, so thank you for
Luckily, I wasn't one of them. I'm sorry, everybody else who's gotten yelled at. You've just been so nice and
Thank you.
helpful and fun, as Mike can probably attest to.
Yeah, I've had so much fun in your... Because those of you, again, who are listening and are not part of GVAA or any other place where you may have found a Katie Leigh workout, she does these table read type workouts where normally you go into a group workout. It's like, okay, I bring this commercial or I bring this animation script, and the coach works with just you for 10 minutes or whatever and gives you feedback and says, okay, on to the next person. And then you listen in to everybody. Well, Katie brings in an actual script from an animated television show, from years ago, and assigns everybody parts. And we read it together, and it's just so much fun working off of each other and trying to get that timing down.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I got to bring it back. I took a little break from that. We started doing something a little different just for
did
fun.
you?
But it can be really boring listening to. I mean, it's interesting. We learn a lot, but I like to get everybody involved, and I think we learn by doing.
Yeah.
Yes, and it turns on the playful side of people that not everyone's ready for, or not everyone gets to work with other people. I mean, most of us don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't. So that's the other reason I do it. I mean, I usually tell you that at the beginning is because my experience, I'm so thankful for, started over 40 years ago, is being in the studio with other actors. And, where everybody's by themselves, I want you to have the sense. I want people in my classes to have at least the sense memory of what it was like playing off somebody else, so at least you could maybe imagine it when you're auditioning.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they're not monologues, right? They're dialogues.
Yeah.
For sure. And you said you were doing commercials before you were doing any of this? Like long?
Well, we did everything. It was
Yeah.
voiceover, but I did it came all this weird stuff. I must have been very relaxed last night. But because I remembered, hey, yeah, I did. I used to work for amazing people in Hollywood that you guys, I'm sure, heard their spots, and I was so fortunate to work with. So Chuck Bloor and Don Richmond, one of them. Dick Orkin at the Radio Ranch. I used to work a lot over there. He was, what was he known for? Something Man. He had this really kind of, do you remember the commercial where, if you buy this shampoo and you tell two friends and they tell two friends.
And so on.
Yeah,
And
and-
so on.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Dick Orkin, look him up. Brilliant, all these brilliant radio guys. And Burt Bars and Kirby, people who are like legends in the radio industry. And it was so much fun to work with them, I mean, can you imagine showing up to do a spot with Fred Willard and Jack, what was this? Yeah. Can't think.
That's okay. You had me at Fred Willard. That would have been awesome.
And I had my camera. I was like the kind of person who'd go to work and take a picture. 'Cause,
Oh, really?
I mean, you had to develop it too.
Right.
So it wasn't that.
Well, and you've gotten to work on some, switching over to animation. You've gotten to work on some amazing projects. And again, I mean, you're the voice of our childhood. I mean, I grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons in the 80s. And
I was
some of the,
recording them.
yeah, you were. So
Yeah.
those of you who don't know Katie, why don't you rattle off some of your credits there?
Well, I worked on Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
I
boy.
worked on the Gummi Bears, Disney's Adventures of the Gummi Bears.
Yeah.
I was Sunny Gummy. I was Hulker Buttlefoot on Darkwing Duck. I was Sheila's voice in Dungeons and Dragons.
I loved that show.
I was Rolf the dog on Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Let's see.
Yeah,
What
you
else?
used to watch Muppet
Lots of
Babies,
things.
too.
I just saw for the first time, I was telling somebody, because someone else sent me down a rabbit hole, an episode of The Smurfs where I played Denisa, who is Gargamel's god niece. And I've never seen the episode, but it was on YouTube. So I just saw it last week for the first
Yeah.
time.
Did you recognize yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, when these things come up, because I'm sure there's times where you do see these. I mean, they're prevalent cartoons. And do you listen to yourself and the things you did back then? And is it because some people, they don't like to hear the things that they do or see them, see themselves on TV and stuff like that. But then there's others that just get a kick out of hearing themselves from 30 years ago or whatever.
Well, okay, so when we used to do stuff, it took about 6 months, I guess, before it came on the air, at least the first episode.
Mhm.
But we didn't know what it looked like, so we were excited to see it,
Okay.
right? And then you kind of see, oh, okay, this is how this all came together.
Yeah.
And then because a lot of those shows were, when we had 4 channels, and some of them before DVRs, video recording machines. Like if you didn't watch it or if it got preempted by football, you missed it. So we tried to catch it. It was kind of fun to watch because you get to see the whole thing. How they animated it, what was going on. But now, now it's just so nostalgic. Like some things I miss, like the Smurfs. I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see, just to see.
That's
For
great.
sure.
I don't know. I mean, I don't like to listen to, like, we have a podcast show called Tell You Later. I started about 4 years ago with my buddy. He passed away, unfortunately. Will Ryan, awesome friend of mine, also was in like all those shows that I mentioned. But so we're still doing it. But I don't really like to watch my interviews. I don't mind watching my other stuff, but my interviews, I'm not too keen on watching.
Yeah.
What's so weird about that? I feel similar about watching this, but I do it every now and then.
Because when I'm interviewing people, I tend to talk over them, and I feel bad about that. Or
We've never done that.
I get very
Not once.
silly. I don't know. It's just because I did it. I already talked to them.
I was there. Yeah.
I was there, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you go to a birthday party and now you've got your cell phones and they take a picture and they go, look at these pictures. I was there 5 minutes ago. I don't need to see it now, right? But,
Yeah.
I make all the thumbnails.
Okay.
But he only gives me the audio to listen to. So I don't get to see what's actually, so I hear it
Yeah.
Okay.
and I try to come up with cool pictures and cute things.
Nice.
So yeah,
Well,
so I don't think we've done ours because he hasn't sent me the stuff to make that. Because I did one with Mitch. Mitch met me out in Michigan,
Yay.
or Grand Rapids.
Michigan.
Yeah,
That was super fun.
I'll be there again.
I'll be there wherever
When
you
come
are.
to Dallas, come on.
Come on.
Am I going to Dallas? No, I don't have any plans yet. But
Fly to
we're going to
Michigan,
be in
Mike.
Grand Rapids
Well,
in
if
March
you
for a few
do,
days.
you need to look me up.
I
Let
will.
me-
No.
White
Say, Mike, I'm
pages.
coming
There's
to
a whole
Dallas.
bunch of you in Dallas.
Yeah, they are.
Good.
Do you travel
Yeah.
a lot? I mean, I know you come to Michigan
I
all the time.
do. I do sometimes. I'm going to Florida on Friday for 2
Okay.
nights. Real quick for Orlando MegaCon, we're doing something called Anime After Dark.
Oh, wow.
I think I saw you post about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of something we're trying out. So we're kind of, I guess this is more for business people. I'll just say in this particular event, we're not main guests that they're flying out, but our agent has gotten this space, calling it Anime After Dark. We're paying our way in hopes that we'll at least break even and hopefully make some money. We fly in Friday, go like straight to the event, like buy dinner at the airport, get it in your bag, go over to the event, do
Yeah.
it, go back to the house, and then we go back Saturday night, and my plane leaves at 9 o'clock Sunday morning.
Wow.
So
Oof.
I've never done anything quite that wacky.
Yeah.
And then in March, Chicago,
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
record an audio drama. And then, because I'm in Chicago, we'll be in Michigan for a few days because my mother-in-law lives there and visit with her. And then fly to Pennsylvania. I'm doing a fundraiser event at a church with a pastor I do a radio program called Adventures in Odyssey.
Yes.
And we have a lot of friends.
I'm going to have to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been, it's amazing. It's like my whole other family outside
Well,
of
yeah, and that's been Adventures in Odyssey. Me being a Christian as well, it's something I'm familiar with. And
my
I know.
favorite sweatshirts.
Yay.
I have 3 of them because Chris told me get an extra large, so I just live in them. Anyway,
But yeah, you've been doing that for, goodness, well over 20 years, right?
how about 37?
37. That's amazing.
I want a job for that long.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? Except the Simpsons. We're a year older than the Simpsons. They've been doing
That's
it
cool.
quite a long
Whoa.
time too.
Yeah, it was so wild seeing, because I had never heard it. I didn't see it until I came to the bookstore and saw people just light up walking up to you. It was so fun to see, like, you are people's childhoods.
Yeah.
Like, people
It
hearing your
was-
voice from across the bookstore.
And their parents, and
And
their
their parents, yeah.
grandparents.
Yeah.
It was big before VeggieTales was big.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
That makes
before
sense.
VeggieTales, yeah. But, yeah, and Phil Lawler, who created the show, he also created Jungle Jam. You know Jungle Jam, Mike? Did you ever listen to
don't
this?
recall
So
Jungle Jam.
funny. I used to beg to be on Jungle Jam. They wouldn't
It's
let
like
me.
we have to beg for jobs now.
Yeah.
And they'd say,
Can I please?
no. The only time they had me on Jungle Jam, it's really a funny show. You really should look it up,
Yeah.
Jungle Jam and Friends. It's hilarious. And one time they had me open a door and go, whoops, wrong studio.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
An
So
in
yeah,
joke.
so we're gonna go. He asked me if I would come to Pennsylvania and do that. We're gonna do like bring people up to read an Odyssey script, and I'm supposed to speak and do something.
Wow.
I'll do a little presentation. But I was just corresponding with a bookstore guy who was a Dungeons and Dragons fan who is in Philadelphia. So I might parlay that into a comic book toy store
little-
appearance. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we go from there. So Illinois, Pennsylvania, and then VO Atlanta.
VO Atlanta.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'll be
sorry,
gone about
I'm gonna
three,
miss
3
VO
weeks
Atlanta.
from home. Yeah.
But Mitch
I
is gonna be there.
I'm going to be
guys
there
can
for
hang out
sure.
and be
And I'm going to
pals.
ask this question in front of everybody, everyone who listens to the podcast, because I just thought of it. I've noticed that you have this zest for character work that you sometimes don't even see in people newly doing it, who like haven't come up with all their voices and they're freshly learning their voices. You have this bubbly, wonderful way about always playing. How have you kept that up? Kept new characters coming out and kept like sometimes I get a mental block. I'm like, how the heck is she just ready? Is it just practice? Like how do you
Well,
keep
they
that
aren't
going?
all new, exactly. But
Variations.
sometimes you do something and you go, wow,
Yeah.
I've never heard myself do that voice
Yeah.
before.
Oh, I did that this morning getting dressed. I started talking. I was all right, and I did this voice, and I'm like, I like that. I don't know what, and then I've totally lost it.
It
It's
I
just
gone.
almost spit
happens.
took there. I just thought it was from you like putting your pants on. Like,
No, yeah. We always do the old man voice, and I'm getting very close to doing the old man voice for real. So, you know,
Oh, well, what was the question? How do you make up stuff?
Not just how you make it up, but how you keep it fresh and still enjoy it and still enjoy teaching people
Because
things that
every
you.
situation's different.
Yeah.
I mean, the scripts aren't necessarily, because there's hardly any storyline that I haven't heard at this point. Like
starting
you
to see
look
that
at it, you go,
myself.
okay, this is one of these. This is one of these. But not
This is the lesson we're
every
teaching
ingredient
today.
is the same. It's like when you cook, right? So you kind of the same ingredients. Okay, this is soup, but how is this soup going to be made? What are the ingredients? Who are the characters? How can we make it fresh? Because that's the thing. You get some old, especially educational things, maybe that you might do, or, okay. Actually, I just read a script, that the one I'm recording in Illinois, and they surprised me. They did something I didn't expect in there. But
Spoiler
a
alert,
lot
can we
of
talk-
times the overarching idea, you kind of get who the characters are. That's why I talk about archetypes and stereotypes. But everybody's different. They have little different ingredients each time. So you want to find the truth of that situation. Also, I remember about, how old am I? Oh, maybe about,
I'm not sure.
we won't ask.
I do
won't
know. For I don't know. Now I can't remember. But maybe when my kids were in high school, they had, online, they had these quizzes. Like, how old are you really?
Oh, yeah.
And I took it like 3 times because, but every time I came out 6. My kids were like 18. My kids are like in junior high, and they're all scoring like 18-year-olds, and I still kept coming up 6. So that could have something to do with
That's
it.
the
I love
playful
that.
nature. Well, and that, yeah, I mean, that's one of the endearing things about you, and that I've enjoyed in the workouts that I've done with you, and just knowing you is, it's just you have that playful personality, and I think that I mean that has been part of what's gotten you where you are today, and all the experience you've had, and the success you've had in this industry, because you have to, if you're going to do cartoons, right? You have to.
It takes a lot more energy than people think. Just ask Mitch. It takes a lot more energy than people think. But I also think I really like coaching people, because if I can give them an idea and all of a sudden they do something that they didn't know
Yeah.
they could do, it makes me really excited.
Well, and that, yeah, if I can tell a story, I know we're interviewing you, but
Oh,
I
Mike.
think you can tell a story.
well, it's about you though. It's about you. So I did this. I think it might have been the first workout I did with you, and it was this script about. It was like a NASA produced script with these space
Oh,
shuttles.
space racers.
Yes. And you sent the script out to everybody ahead of time. And so I worked, and you gave me a part, and I, worked it out. And I did not catch, or I don't know if it even said what age these were, but I was working it out as more of like a young adult, or, and we came into the thing and you're like, okay, these are preteens. And I went, I'm 50 years old. I can't do preteen. And you said, yes, you can. Just find it or something. You said something like that. And I'm like,
Do it.
all right, let's go. And I just reached into my inner child and did this little preteen space shuttle.
Well,
and
you don't
did
have
something.
a deep, old, resonant
No.
voice, so I could hear. It was there. It's just more of attitude, like the things I've been doing at GVAA lately, just to get a little bit away from the ensemble scripts, because I gotta find some that we haven't done. And they're out there, but it doesn't matter what the line is. It matters who you are saying it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is I did, at the time, it was, I hadn't been doing this for very long, and I just didn't have that confidence in myself of, oh, I need to find that voice, and I don't know if I can find it. And you just gave me that nudge, and you were like,
I kicked your little tushy.
The little tush,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking
You
about,
kicked
his
my little-
tush.
Tush
"Kick my little butt," and you said, you can do it.
We're always thinking about Mike's tush.
No,
I mean, my
but
wife
and you were
likes-
great. You were great because I think that if we're used to part of the I do the workouts because a lot of people they're sort of thinking about animation, but most people enter voiceover with commercial stuff, and you're supposed to bring your authentic self. So you're a guy with a beard, and that's what you think you are. But not in animation. You can be anything if you can, I mean, who would have thought that Stewie in Family Guy was going to have that voice, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
perfect.
about humor. You got to have a sense of humor. That's
Yes.
really important. And, and want to play and not be fixed, because if you're fixed in your ideas, it makes you very hard to direct, for one thing.
Yeah.
And people in my experience up until this point, when they hire you for a job, I mean, back when I started, if you were doing an animated show, you probably do 3 voices, because they got 3 voices for the price of 1.
Right.
Now it's 2 for the price of 1. You get 10% more if you do 3. Union work. Okay, we're talking union.
Yeah.
So, the voice actors were not like when they cast Ray Romano to play a mammoth or whatever. They want his voice.
Romano, he just sounds like this the whole time.
But that's what they, they
Yeah,
want.
that's
But
what they
when
wanted,
our
yeah.
working voice actors, they want you to be able to do lots of different characters.
And that's
At
what
the drop
Mitch
of
and
a
I
hat.
love to do, is lots of different voices.
Yeah.
We love it.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to play. I think. Well, I think it's really healthy. I think there are a lot of people in this world who, unfortunately, do all their craziness outside of work, and sometimes they get in trouble, but we get paid for it.
We get paid to be nutso.
But if we do it, we get paid for it. If you acted like this outside of work, people wouldn't want to hang out with you.
I don't know. I think it's that playfulness that we bring into the world when we can. That people that they want to be around. Everyone wants to be around us. I'm gonna toot our own horns right here. I don't do this very often, but people want to be around us.
I mean,
And I think it's because we can bring that like kid back into people's lives a little bit. That reminds them like, oh, we can be weird for a second, like off in this corner or whatever. I don't know. I think
I think you learn a lot about the influence and the impact we actually have when you go to a Comic-Con. And you see your average and ordinary, which to me, average and ordinary are like people like me, but it's not. The world is made up of all these other people who consume all the media, and it helps them cope with life, and there are things that they can relate to, and they tell you stories that you realize this is a big part of other people's lives. For us, it's a big part because it's a paycheck and we have fun. I mean, to be honest, right? But then realize, hey, this is so meaningful to so many people. It's an honor and a privilege and a blessing to be able to have a role that somebody will hear and maybe learn from or have a good laugh at, and change their demeanor even for a moment. You don't know what people are going through, and it's really one, and it lives forever.
Yeah. Well, and
unless you're on Dumbo Circus and Disney like burns the tapes, but
oops.
Yeah. Well, and that's
You gotta be in the
one
right
of the
thing.
things. I mean, we're sitting here in this room, and everybody who's listening. I mean, we're creatives, right? I mean, we get a kick out of goofing off. We get a kick out of embodying a part, whether
I
it's
know
a
my
dramatic part.
grandkids like it when I go. The big
And that's
hit.
fun, and that's playful.
Big hit.
That's a big hit right there.
But there are playful. I mean, like we like to consume media. We like to consume movies and TV shows and audio dramas and podcasts and all the things because we like to be entertained. But there's so many people out there also that aren't creative, but it doesn't mean they don't still like to be entertained. And so you end up getting that, where, like you said, you go to the conventions and you see people out there and they go, "Hey, you're that voice in that thing that I really love," and they may not be into doing that, but they are still consuming it, and it does mean so much to their lives. And that's,
Yeah, I mean, well, the cosplay is a huge aspect.
yeah.
Oh man,
And they do
so
that.
cool.
Now, I'm not a very visual person, and I do have a Sheila. I did put together a Sheila costume because it wasn't really all, weird. So I could be comfortable in it and wear that. But for the most part, that's all my stuff is, in my head, in my ears, and that's my life experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, I think of course we love media or we wouldn't be working in it. I love to be entertained, and and that's where we get our inspiration. There's nothing new under the sun. Right? So that's where you get your characters. That's why, Mitch, I tell you to watch things and
Yes.
see what's out there, because when we reproduce it, unless we're like impressionists, it's going to come out different. Nobody knows who they may. How many people have done a Pat Buttram voice for a cartoon? How many people have done a Casey Kasem type voice? How many, we base things on other things that already exist.
We're mimics.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we tailor it to whatever the situation is. Yeah, I'm glad you guys have fun playing. It makes me happy to watch other people have fun.
I mean, I can't. I don't know how people go through life without wanting to have fun, because there are those people that are just super serious.
I hate
and
it.
I've known some, and I've been related to some, and And it just, I don't know how you go through life like that. I like to play. That's why I like to play Dungeons and Dragons. That's why I like to do audio stuff,
I
VO
want to
stuff.
learn how to play.
Oh, it's so much fun, Katie.
gotta
Let's
get right
play
I know
in.
D&D.
people tell me this. I tried to do it once, but they didn't really teach me. So I have my little Sheila. I have a rubber
Yeah.
duck Sheila. Did you know that?
No.
No,
You seem to
that's
like
awesome.
the rubber ducks.
Well, that's just a coincidence. I forget where this one came from.
You have a truth duck? Is that really what you use it for?
Because when we do the Tell You Later show, we have a bell.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, and I just hit it when someone says something that I think is noteworthy. But when we recorded one of the shows in Kansas City with somebody, and we forgot the bell. So he gave us this duck.
I listened to a Barbie episode back when you told me to tell me what. And I was like, this literally sounds like I'm sitting in the bedroom with some kid adults playing with Barbies.
That was me and Townsend Coleman and Kimmy Robertson, right? And Chris
Yeah.
Anthony.
Yeah.
We went to Kimmy's house because she had a Barbie dream house from the 60s.
Wow.
So asked Townsend to come over because we all work on Adventures in Odyssey, but we're all friends. Because actually, Kimmy, I think, was on the Tick or Inspector Gadget with Townsend when he did that. So they worked together on those shows. But I said, come on over, we're going to play. And Townie was so reluctant. But he did it. I don't think he wants to watch that episode.
I
He
would have
feels embarrassed.
100% played Barbies
Text-
with you, Katie.
But
Yes.
we had fun.
100%.
What?
Been all over that. I would have 100%
both,
played
yeah.
Barbies with you.
You would have played Barbies?
Oh,
We would have slapped
yeah.
two heads on one Barbie and played
I
them.
had-
Yeah, it was
I
kind
had
of fun.
two
But the
daughters.
thing is, we were
I
crazy.
mean-
That was in the beginning of the show, and we'd never gone anywhere. And my dear husband, he had like a camera. I don't know what it was pointed at, so you don't even see our heads half the time.
It was hilarious.
And we were all talking all over each other, so it was kind of a zoo.
A
But
hilarious zoo.
really?
I don't.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that because I thought, I don't know, if I might have just shut it right off.
It was pretty
Sometimes
funny.
the chaotic moments are the best ones,
It was
Absolutely.
fun. Well, because Chris Anthony, Lansdowne, she was the original voice of Barbie. That's why we went to play Barbies, so she
See,
could be
dang.
Barbie.
I love hearing stories like that
I
where
was
it's like,
skipper once for the Talking Dream House. They did
Oh.
at the hotel. That was fun.
Oh, the show?
See?
On the
or
no,
the actual
it was
toy.
It's a toy.
This is a toy.
Okay.
Mhm.
And it was a talking dream house.
Yeah.
And the characters, and I always wanted to be Skipper. When we played Barbies, I wanted to be Skipper anyway, not Barbie. So
Yeah.
I was really happy they cast me as Skipper. And I
Can we dig into that? Why do you want to be the sidekick?
Because
everyone
she was more
wants to be Barbie.
fun. She didn't. She didn't have to worry about what she was wearing.
I was like Samwise Gamgee more too.
Dude, Sam is the hero of that movie.
just
I'm
a
sorry,
sweet
you can't
boy,
convince me.
I don't
What
know.
movie?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
I didn't see that.
What? All right, next time you're in Dallas, Katie,
Yeah.
we're gonna spend 13 hours and we're gonna watch
Watching
the
the
uncut
You know what?
version of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I'm sure it's like I have it on my.
There's a lot of voice
I have
acting
it
in
queued
that
up
movie.
to watch like. Yeah, Sean Astin's in it, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's Sam.
But like I haven't really. I think I watched one Harry Potter. I'm not keen on CGI. That's part of it, and really loud soundtracks. Yeah, I'm more into jokes and timing, and good dialogue and
Yes.
intriguing stories.
Tell me, Katie, are you a Princess Bride fan?
Yeah, I like that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
yes.
fine. What's your actual real movie? What's the one? What's the?
Our favorite.
Yeah, what is it
Yeah.
right now that you could think of?
We just watched it the other night, actually, and it's a Texas film. Have you ever seen Lone Star? It's a John
know
Sayles
of it.
film. It's an excellent movie, and it's absolutely
I just gotta type it in so I watch it.
Yeah, who's in
It's
that?
about
Who's in that? I'm trying
Chris
to.
Christopherson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
McConaughey's in it. Oh.
Is this
No.
a comedy? This looks
No,
really
it's not
depressing.
a comedy,
Okay.
actually.
No.
All right.
But it's very relevant, and it's really interesting. It's like a socio.
Yeah. Okay. Chris Cooper.
Historic.
That's
Chris
who you're thinking
Cooper.
of.
Chris
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yes, I have
And
seen
about
this.
what people think and what they say and what they actually do and what we think, and it's really interesting about human relations and motivation and yeah, and it's interesting. So that is not a comedy, but we do love The Parent Trap with Dennis Quaid at our house. That is a big all-time favorite here.
That's funny.
Yeah, we like that a lot.
All right.
I think I've seen that one. The Lone Star's on my list now, as well as another one of Mike's favorite
You were
movies
talking
I've
about, and
never
I
seen.
couldn't remember, but as I picked my phone up and looked it up on IMDb, I'm like, yep, okay, I remember it now because it's
Oh,
also
you
got
did see it. Don't
yeah,
tell him. Don't
Elizabeth
give it
Pena.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me anything.
Don't give it away.
Well, that's the thing is I can't remember everything about it because it was so many years ago that I saw it. So it'll be one of those that I got to put on my list to watch again.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And Memento. I mean, I know I
Memento.
like
See,
comedy,
you
but I
got me
like
there.
things that make you think
Yeah.
that you haven't heard before. That's why I like it, because you watch TV and I'll
Something
say
new.
to my husband, "Oh, now this is going to happen." He was like, "Did you write this?" I'm like, "No, but I've read it so many times.
It's
I've
always
seen
cool
it
to
so
see
many
something
times."
new. That's why I'm getting into because it's just Severance on Apple TV, Ben Stiller's new show.
So
I
good.
haven't-
That's
Is that
wild.
good? Is that
Yeah.
something to watch?
That'll-
It's good. Yeah,
That's
it's
new
one of
for
those
you.
that's like, yeah, it hasn't been done before.
There's too much to watch, you guys.
Talking
There's a lot.
movies
That's
with
the thing,
Katie
there's
Lee.
so much
Yeah.
content. There's so
It's-
much content out there.
Obscene.
And like you said, I mean, it's so hard to find original content because they're just remaking everything. And I don't need the live action versions of Disney movies. I don't. I would rather watch the.
But the old
you know-
ones are awfully good. I mean, if you
Yeah.
watch old
That's
classic,
fine.
Jungle Book and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Mary Poppins, all those are characters that we can bring to voiceover if we wanna circle back. As they
We're
say.
circling back right now.
We're circling back. Oh yeah, we're circling back. And I just wanted to say that, there are so many interesting characters that we can use from life. We don't have to copy animated characters to create.
Yes.
We just have to make sure that they're a little bit bigger than life.
Yes. I concur, Katie.
Sorry, that's a
Mitch
new
Mike,
one
I've
Mitch from
never-
you.
Coughs in
I
the
don't think I've
background.
ever done that voice either. That just
Hey,
happened.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
that's what's fun. Is finding you now have a new character. You're
I
welcome.
now have a new
So
character.
when we hear you do that again, we'll be like, yeah, we heard
She-
it first.
We gave that to
Right here.
her.
Yeah, we
I
got
would
the
say that.
exclusive, as you might say, on a podcast. That's
Yeah, but
great.
you know what it is? It's not just, it's like that attitude. I don't know who sounds like that exactly, but you knew what attitude I was channeling, right?
Yeah.
All those, but when you see people with interesting mannerisms, because when I
Yes.
coach, I say we got to get physical, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see interesting mannerisms, you can bring that to your voiceover.
And that's one of the things. It's funny because remember I said this morning I just came up with this weird character and I can't remember it.
Because
but I
you
was,
were putting on your pants for a change.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
turned around and I saw myself in the mirror as I was doing whatever voice that was. I was making note that I was changing the way my face looked and my mouth was, and I was thinking to myself, and again, it's not a lesson I didn't know, but it's like, I was thinking, well, it's funny how we can, screw up our faces and we change the way we sound just by doing the thing with the face.
Totally, this is
The
our
thing with the face.
instrument. It really is. And it's so much fun to play it a different way and figure, what happens. Even if you close one eye, your voice is going to come out different.
Let me try
You're a
that.
different person.
Hi, I'm Mike. Hi, I'm Mike.
There
You're
we go.
right.
You're right. You're right.
Who knew?
Who knew it?
This
That's
is
what
your
one-eyed
right
Mike
eye.
sounds like.
This is your left eye.
This is my left eye.
But
That's
that's
interesting.
really, that's it, That's fun, but you can't be self-conscious. because that's what trips people up.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't in theater in school. I didn't do it. I did improv after I graduated high school when I was in college, just to try to be less self-conscious and to get more confidence.
All right.
And next thing I knew, after taking this class and this class and this class, I ended up on stage. And because it had rules, I liked the rule. I could follow the rules. It wasn't improv like what you see in Hollywood. It's more like what they call like theater sports or something, where
Okay.
improv has rules. It does have rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes,
but yeah, so that I think, when I got to Hollywood and started working, I saw that many of the voice actors had improv backgrounds. And so we could play off of each other. And that, like looping, all the movies I worked on a lot of movies doing post-production, and it's a lot of group improv. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't always think that cartoons are crazy voices. I don't think that the
They don't always have
characters
to be,
that
no.
you remember me doing aren't like totally whacked out. Right? They're just characters. Voicinalities, like I like to call them, But I think there's usually a genuineness and maybe a uniqueness to their characters.
That's for sure.
Well, and that's the thing is
Some
there
are
is
probably
acting.
duplicates, for sure.
It's not just a voice; it's a character.
Right.
You have to act. You have to embody that character and take it through the emotions that each line has. And in cartoon, one of the things I've learned is, not that I've done any of them, but I want to. In a 22-minute cartoon, a character can go through such a range of emotions, just
All of them, perhaps.
minute to minute.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to take that character
and I was just thinking, Mitch, what it is it's not just a willingness to play, to be a character. What it is, I think, that you need to bring is the willingness to find everything new in the script. So it's new to you, because nobody knows what's going to happen next in life.
Right.
So to be open to that discovery as you're performing. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
And I just thought of it now, but that's it. Like, how
It was
do I...
brilliant,
It
Katie.
who knows? But, when you...
In
you see
theory, I'm
something,
better
when
at
you
it.
see it
than
in the
practice.
script, it has to be new to your character.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
if you plan it out too much or think you're going to know how you're going to react, I think you maybe do yourself a disservice.
Yeah. I definitely I find myself falling into a groove or something because I have discovered that already. Me, not my character. And yeah, to step back and then come back to it fresh or something, a lot of times that'll help.
Yeah.
To just completely say it a different way that I don't plan on the character being, just to like shake things up again.
You know what? It's really an interesting exercise. Whenever you put on an accent, it's really easy to become somebody else. If you're using your own voice, it isn't.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put on something else, you find that what is this person's attitude is different. I'm going to express myself differently than if I were speaking in that voice that this head has normally. Yes. It just does. But get a southern accent. Read your stuff, anything.
Right.
Have an
Can't stop me.
affectation like what Mike was doing, when all of a sudden he's talking out of the side of his mouth. You're going to have something different. And it gives you a different place to come from. Your voice even comes from a different place in your body.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing
I
this.
think my
Mitch and I are
body even
involved in this
changes.
audio drama, and I'm doing this crazy Italian.
I love this guy.
It's fun.
Director, and
I was
here, and he is all over the
rejected.
place.
I was rejected from my church drama club. They didn't.
Really?
I auditioned, yeah. When I
Wow.
first got saved, and this is true. It'll be in my book someday. And they had an improv. They had a theater group, and I thought, oh, maybe this is what God wants me to do. because here I am. I'm a working actor. I've had plenty of time on stage in San Francisco, and I go and I audition, and I'm waiting for them to tell me how wonderful I am, with the phone call. I mean, everybody loved it. I did great. And they called and they said, yeah, you did really well, but we don't think you've been a Christian long enough to join our group. I was like, oh, okay.
That is strange.
Yeah, it's because it was, more about, I guess the heart of things. And it was really a good lesson for me in so many areas of my life. Look, now I'm 37 years on Adventures in Odyssey, so clearly I believe God had a plan. But
I think you've been Christian long enough now.
It wasn't that.
I think if you audition now, you'd get in.
I might. Can I tell you about my book as long as we're talking
yes,
about
please.
bookstores?
Plug away.
This is my book.
Hey,
Comic
itty bitty
book.
book of dependency.
Oh yeah,
The
that should be
Itty Bitty Book of Codependency.
that'll be in the mail soon, Mike.
Yes.
Hey, neato.
It's just little comics about, a humorous look at a fairly serious topic.
It is, yeah. I read it and I'm like, ouch, because maybe I have some of these tendencies myself.
It's just it's like a little tush-push for mental health.
There you go. Tush push for mental health. I like that. I like that phrase.
It's just like a little tush push for mental health.
Yeah,
But of course, that's only if your head's up your.
And on that note, hey, Katie, do you have anything else you want to plug? Anything else that's going on in your life that you want to say? Hey, this is what Katie's up to.
Goodness. Well, I told
Talk
you
about yourself in the third person, please.
Okay, I told you she was going there. My wish list is to go to UK PonyCon. Oh, I might be in Grand Rapids. They're doing a My Little Pony thing there. I think it's in June or September. So that gives me a reason to go back to Grand Rapids.
That's exciting. Do you have a pop figure of your character?
No, they never made a pop of. I have a Sunny Gummy Funko Pop, but
Hey.
I have some fizzies. They sell them at Cracker Barrel. If you ever find a fizzy at Cracker Barrel, buy it.
I'm gonna look.
We got one in my town. I'm gonna go to Cracker Barrel tomorrow, and I'm gonna see if I can find a fizzy.
Gotta go find a fizzy.
I gotta look.
And because I did the original. I'm Gen 1. I am Gen 1, and I'm proud to say so. I am. And so yeah, we got the pony thing going on, and that's super fun because they're just delightful people. So we do that, but I'm trying to think. So, but the British have their own UK PonyCon, and I would love to go there as well. It's much bigger, actually. So I'm working on my accent for that pony thing. But what other thing? Well, there's a cool thing that's opening up in March. I hear Pigeon Forge, and that's in Tennessee, and also in Branson, Missouri. They're opening something called Truth Traveler. And it's people who have the Creation Museum and the Ark exhibit. And they help put together this Truth Traveler. And it's a 4D virtual reality experience through the Bible somehow. And I am the voice of the robot. His name is Pod.
Hey,
that's
fun.
fun.
I'm excited to see that. Maybe when they go to Atlanta, because that's also in March, if it's open, I guess you can drive to Pigeon Forge from there. So I might try to squeeze that in.
That's super sweet.
Man. But I don't know, because I forget. I forget stuff.
You're too busy. You forget a few things. I did
get
it.
a little I'm trying to do mentoring things. Actually, I'm supposed to do this mentorship program for women in animation. And I'm supposed to do that for 6 months, so I need to prepare for that. We're going to do the April 26th radio drama workshop with John Fornoff online. So if anybody's really interested, if is anybody watching this podcast, they can sign up for my newsletter, and I promise I'll let you know about it. It doesn't go out that often, so you won't be completely...
Where can our listeners sign up for your
At www.katielee.com.
That's a tough one.
Leigh.
Leigh, yes.
Katie.
Isn't that crazy? How does that even say Lee? I don't know.
It's my daughter's middle name, so
Is it?
Yeah.
It's all my kids' middle name. Cause...
Hey.
Is that Scottish or
All right,
Irish or something?
We have been talking to Katie for an hour.
I know.
And it does not feel like it. It's been such a great conversation.
And I could not find an organic way to slip this question in, except for now.
Do it.
Did he
I'm not
just
frozen.
freeze?
I just messed with
I'm
got
like,
you guys.
he's messing
I
with us.
just got okay. You said
Look
you're
at my
meant.
jaw drop.
You're,
Well, that's all the time we have. Mitch was. All right.
You've been. You're gonna mentor women in animation.
Yes.
Yes. Have you come across? Can you shout out or talk about one or two women that you found and you go, wow, look at this person? Is there anyone you could tell us to look at or have on the podcast? Or
Oh, there's so many talented people.
but you only get a couple because we, I don't want to
we
take
don't have
up
that kind of
all
time.
your time.
And you can open it up to men as well. I mean,
Yeah, men as well, but
Yeah.
just because it was it
Yeah,
was
you were
a
talking about
semi-good
women in-
lead-in.
Who
Yeah.
I think are just like
Someone
that
you-
are already working and are super great.
Or you see coming up
Or up
through
and
your
comers.
channels.
I mean,
yeah.
Someone like us who's just knuckleheads out there trying to
Right,
get a
'cause
footing
we've
in
been
it.
interviewing
All you
knuckleheads,
all
too.
are so amazing. I couldn't even single out one person because, especially you two, how could I pick which one? I see so many wonderful things in your future. But
But we know it's me.
I hope you see through.
there's a girl. Well, this is odd. There's a
You
girl
can
named
put-
Heather Shapiro. I'm supposed to be in her movie. Okay, she created this really amazing, I think, hysterical TV series and sold it called El Kimberly Project. And
Okay.
it's her in Uruguay. It's very funny. But so she's a filmmaker, and I think she's really a fun person to keep your eye on. But as far as voiceover goes, wow.
You don't have to keep going. We've got to.
My
We're gonna-
brain is. I don't know that I quite. There's so many people I work with, and I think, wow, they're.
We're gonna
really-
pivot to a different question.
Okay. Think
Can
of
I
something
can I
else.
get you to act with me tonight?
Sure. What?
We're gonna do the Chat GPT
Oh yeah,
roulette that we may have been.
We're gonna do. Let's
The
just
thing.
do that and
I
cut
just
out. Cut out. If I think of somebody amazing, I'll let you know.
All right,
you
we're
know
gonna.
who I love? We just finished watching the whole series of Schitt's Creek, and those people just blow me away.
Such a hilarious show.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara.
Just fold it in, David. Just fold it. That
I'm
scene
starting.
is so hilarious.
I sit there with my phone to Google all her vocabulary because I have no idea what she's saying. That's the kind of stuff that's different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I did think of what I wanted to maybe put on my tombstone. Do you want to know that?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Everyone's
She
asking
always
us.
liked to try something new. This is new.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. And it might have your face doing
Yeah.
that on there.
Now they talk. Now you can have like QR codes on tombstones. Did you know that?
That's just
And you
creepy.
can watch
boy.
videos of
I would
whoever
not want
was
to do that.
buried there.
Actually, I think I like that because you do wonder.
Yeah.
I've told my family, when I die, I don't have any preconceived notions. You can cremate me, bury me, you can stuff me and prop me up in the corner. I don't care because I'm going to be in
You could
heaven.
leave a little
And
video recording, or sound recording, and
If
people
they
can hear
want
all
that,
your voices.
if they want that, sure.
This has taken a turn, hasn't it? Where's that
Yeah,
script?
Mitch is sitting here in the middle of us going, I don't know. what
Okay,
to-"
bring out the script. Bring out the script.
All right, we're going to pause
Because-
for a second here. We're going to come up with a script, and then we're going to come back and have some fun with
How
it.
do you
the
do
heck's
it?
going
How do
on,
you
you
do it?
guys?
I don't get to see you do it?
Oh, you do,
Yeah,
but we're
you'll
going to
see.
pause.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just gonna
Pausing
pause
now.
the
You're doing it
recording
now. You're doing it
right
now.
here.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with the
Oh.
dumbest script, but we're going to have fun with it.
It's
All right, so
it's nice.
Katie's going to play with us. Here we go. That's what it's all about. It's called The Storms A Comin'. A secluded bar. A waiter is wiping down a table.
Beach bar.
Jeez.
It's a beach bar. You are correct. Thank you for correcting me.
No one would have known.
A waiter is wiping down a table. A mermaid lounges on a beach towel, combing her hair with a shell. An astronaut because that makes sense, in full gear, awkwardly stumbles over to the bar with a big bag of snacks.
Ooh, snacks.
Nice day, isn't it? The calm before the storm, I guess.
Yeah, but I've got to say, this isn't exactly what I imagined when they said destination beach. I mean, my suit is overheating. I'm sweating in here. It smells disgusting.
Overeating? Whoa, try being me. My tail's been on fire all day. Literally, it's been so hot. The ocean feels like a hot tub, and I feel like bouillabaisse.
Oh my gosh, hello. Well, you're on a beach in the middle of a hurricane. What'd you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, have you guys checked the weather? Because it is a hurricane that's coming, you know. I mean, we should probably, you know, go inside and take cover where it's safe.
Oh, honey, a hurricane, that's nothing. It's like nature's spa treatment for me. You know, waves crashing, wind in my hair. Except the wind smells like fish. It's great.
Is that what that smell is?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get a lot of tourists like that, huh? Hurricanes are great if you love the vibe of extreme weather with a touch of will we survive?
Yeah.
Survive? Survive? I'm supposed to be in space, not on a beach with a mermaid and some, like, cocky waiter. I mean, what are we supposed to do here? It's coming.
Oh, I know. You could join me in the ocean. Hurricanes are just like big waves.
That's right.
You gotta ride it out, you know? Besides, you look like you could use a swim.
What? This guy. Yeah, sure. The astronaut in a spacesuit would be great in the old water there, eh? He'll float right to the top.
Yeah, like a buoy.
Yeah, listen, I am not going into the ocean, okay? I would sink like a rock. I'd fill up with water, and I would sink, and I'd be like one of those mafia kills. There's no way I'm getting wet in this thing. I mean,
Whoa, that is so morbid. Well, you've already got the gear for it. Just put the space in Space Cadet
You're a
and
space
take
cadet.
a deep breath. Trust me, the storm is nothing. My tail's been through worse.
I can see that, right? Yeah, it's not like the weather's been the worst thing to hit today. We've got you here, right? The hurricane will probably be like a light breeze by comparison, my guy.
I swear I just wanted a vacation before I got shot into space on a rocket.
It's a beach.
Welcome to Earth, buddy. It's always a wild ride.
Cut to the sky growing darker, the sound of distant thunder. The three look out at the incoming storm.
Yep. You know what they say. When life gives you hurricanes.
Make a splash!
I should have gone to Mars!
That's right.
Can I have your snacks?
Who thought Bane would have showed up?
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Got
that was
fun.
nuts. That was nuts.
That went
well,
better
thanks
the
for
second time, if
indulging
you
us,
can believe it.
Katie, because, that was probably one of the worst scripts you've ever read, but you gave it such gusto. You really jumped into it and
Well,
Oh, yeah.
did the thing. So
thank you so much.
I
hate
really
to
appreciate
say
you
that-
hanging with us
That was
and
fun.
having fun with us, and hopefully we have you back and much continued
From what
success
I
to you.
understand, Mitch says you have a long list of future guests. So
Well, I have you. The problem is I have you on every first Monday
Yeah.
of every month, so
So mark your calendar.
can't remember if you said okay to that.
Oh, all right. It's
See?
very good to be popular.
That's right.
Very good. All right.
All right. Thank you
guys,
so
it was
much.
fun. Thank you. I'll see you around in
Yeah.
Atlanta, and Mike, if I make it to Texas, I'll see
Yeah.
you there.
Let me know.
Alrighty.
All right. And to everybody else, bye-bye. We'll see you
Wait.
next week.
Do this again.
Don't forget
Yes.
to make a splash.
Two hand waves. Two hand waves.
Woo!